Happy Friday to you traders out there. It is Matt with Conservative Trades, ending the day very luckily, or we'll say fortunately, up $16.23. But in all honesty, I'm probably down $50 after fees and commissions. So didn't trade too much, but I definitely filled out probably close to 50 tickets here. And then on top of that, I borrowed shares for shorting on INO today. So INO was kind of the big hitter of the day today. There's only one trade that I'm looking at here that I'm thinking to myself. Well, actually, there's two trades. There's two trades I'm looking at on my P&L, two tickers that I'm looking at, thinking to myself, if I had just left them alone. And day trading, guys, is full of hindsight and woulda, shoulda, coulda, right? A lot of you traders out there know exactly what I mean by that. And the fact of the matter is on really, and RCL is not that big of a loss. But if you pull together RCL and big lots collectively, then I would have at least been break even today. I mean, even after fees and commissions and everything. So. But I wanted to give big lots a try today. I wanted to give it a shot because I did notice on the daily that it was coming up to some pretty significant points of resistance, and that was this morning in pre-market. We were kind of looking at a lot of resistance in this area right here at the $40 area, and the thing is we did eventually hit a point of resistance and it started pulling back. But I took 3 stabs at it, guys. I took 3 stabs at this trade, and I stood to gain at least a $1.50 to $2 move on those tries. And so for me to be down only $51 after taking 3 stabs at that, I really don't feel too bad about it. I mean, I controlled I handed or managed, whatever you want to say, the risk. I managed the risk pretty darn good, if I do say so myself. I mean, if you even look here, I'll pull up the executions. Where are we? So you can see right here, you can see all these little dots here. You can see where I got short and then I got out. And then it looked like it was, still weak. I got short and then it got out immediately, and then short and got out of me. I always got out at the break of the previous candle high. But it was looking weak. Again, I was watching things on the level 2. I was looking at, the faster time frames, the 1 minute, the 2 minute. And it just seemed like it could roll over and that we would be able to make a move back down at least to maybe $38. But it's a nicey stock, and there's a lot of heavy institutional buying up on this stock. And so even though the SPY was weak today, and the financial sector was weak, the tech sector was weak, there was a lot of weakness in the markets today. But big lots for some reason just got bought up, and that's what you get. That's what you get when you're trading something that is heavily traded by the major financial institutions. And so here's the thing, it was something that I was already thinking about out the gates, and I probably should have just left it alone. I probably should have just known that this is what's going to happen with it, and I probably should have just left it alone. But nonetheless, I took the trades, and I handled the risk. I managed the risk. And I think I did pretty good with it. And so, like I said, to take 3 stabs at it and only be down $51, I think that's legit. Really, even on the third trade that I took on it, I was only down like maybe 30 some dollars, and I just thought to myself, if this does get a rollover and we get a good $1.50 move on this, I can make at least $75, and this could turn out to be a great trade. It'll pay for my $38 in losses or whatever it was. Plus I'll make 30 some bucks, and the trade will pay for itself, and we'll come out a little green with it. And so, like I said, I could sit here and play the woulda, shoulda, coulda game, and that's a game, believe you me, I play it a lot. And again, a lot of you other traders out there can completely relate. I know that you can, because this is what we do, guys. And the market's tricky. It's very tricky sometimes, and it's really hard to get your finger on the pulse of what's actually happening. So another stock that I actually jumped in on today. Well, here's one that I wanted to jump in on, but I didn't get a chance to jump in on, and that was NVAX. I think NVAX offered some really good opportunities today. But, you know, by the time I came into it, I had already missed the move. And so why bother, right? Boeing was one that, you know, I just wish I had traded it a little bit better. You can see here on the 5 minute, I actually started trying to go long on Boeing. So wouldn't you know, the one time that I actually do take a long trade this week and it goes against me, but it was looking really good. And here's what I was looking at. I'll see if I can get you guys, see if I can point it out if it's going to look doable enough here on the 1 minute. So on the 1 minute, this was the first time that the 1 minute had recovered the 20 moving average since up here, right? So it had a major drop. It respected it here. It came back. It even respected it here, but then it started to come back up and started to break up through it. And I thought to myself, if we just get a quick pop up here to VWAP, that'll be a nice move. But what happened? It rolled over. So I got out, handled my risk well, right? Okay, well, then it comes up here and I get short and I take a little bit of profit here. And then I believe what happened was I had to get out the rest of it here. So I was looking for a greater move down. But then after this move, it was curling back around. And again, I started to notice a 20 moving average, a 9 EMA to 20 EMA crossover on the 1 minute. And I went short right here, right as it was holding. You know, it had plummeted through, but it came back and it was holding it, and I went short. And then it came up, and I got out here, and then it came up to VWAP, started to draw back, and I went ahead and got out here because I didn't know if it was going to roll over again. And I hate it because literally 5 minutes later, this happens. But you know, guys, with wins and losses and everything today on Boeing, I was able to keep that to a pretty small loss. That is the one thing that I'm happy about today. I mean, the worst loss that I had was on big lots, and that was 3 different failed attempts. 3 different failed attempts. Okay, and so I feel pretty good about it. I stood to do pretty well on it. And even with Boeing, I stood to do pretty well with Boeing. Because if you can see here on the daily chart, Boeing very well could have gone, you know, down. We could have been looking at the break of 166 finally, and we could have gone pretty low on that. And I'm honestly surprised that we didn't get that break. I mean, I really am. I'm very surprised at that. Look at INO. INO is making a good, solid move back up to some of these levels. I might take another trade on this. I think I did this yesterday, actually. Let's see. This looks like it could make a good, solid move up. Let's see here. Love to see it push up through the 30s. 30. I would be looking. Let's see. Well, we're at a pretty solid area here. 30-40. 30-40 would be a pretty solid area. This is very interesting right now. The volume is not major on it. I mean, you know, well, you zoom in on the 1 minute. See, this is why I like to go between the 1 minute and but even on the 1 minute and the 2 minute, I mean, it's definitely not like it was earlier today. I'm going to watch this and maybe even take a trade on it. But I don't even know what I was saying, guys. I don't even know what I was saying. So anyway, I'm sorry. INO caught my attention, and it's looking good. I did a live trade on yesterday's video recap for those of you that missed that. So I thought it would be interesting if we could catch another one here again. But INO's been very interesting, and it's been the best one that I've traded today. And I did bar shares for shorting, like I said earlier, and got in, you know, here a couple times at VWAP, was looking for a good continuation to the downside, and ended up having to get out on both of those. But then you can see here, this is where things got interesting. I waited for it to come all the way up here to 30.63 before I started getting in on the first add in. Okay, so I was adding in 50 shares at a time. So I added here again for another 50, and I added up here for another 50. So I had a total of 150 shares, and I was willing to add one more time to get the full 200 shares in, but I just didn't. And it came down, and I went ahead and removed some shares off the table, so I did lose money on those first bit of shares. And then it came down, and I started to get in the profit here. It came back up here. I went short again and got out here, and then on this dump here, took out it came back, and I added back in and then took some profit there, and then added back in here, then added back in here, took profit there. I added again here as it started coming up, and I got out here, 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 and here. And then I added again here, got out here and here. And so between, oh, and then I took a little scalp here. And so, you know, a lot of trading on INO, and I kind of wish I had taken bigger share size on some of this, because could have done a lot better on that. This is why I'm getting killed on commissions today, even though I'm paying basically just $1 a trade. It's $1 to get in, $1 to get out. So really, I guess $2 round trip. But I could have probably saved myself on some fees and commissions if I had just gone a little heavier in when it pulled back up to here. So. And then when I saw this happening, I should have maybe gotten in there too. But you know, INO is so tricky. Again, these stocks are so tricky. It's hard to get a real good reading, a good solid reading on it. And so anyway, I did end up making, like I said, close to $70 on it. Gave a little of it back. But then made it back, and you know, it was just kind of a back and forth type of thing. MRNA was a good trade. It was something that I was much more proud of, we'll say. So I caught it coming all the way up here, and I started averaging in here. My only regret, once again, guys, is that I didn't average in here when it was double topping with these levels. And so had I done that, this would have been a much greater move. But I waited for it to get all the way down there. I was very, very patient with this. You could see that this trade took, you know, probably an hour, and so I was patient with it. But you know, we did well. It was pretty much a stress-free trade because of how slow it was moving, and didn't really have to think too quickly. So you know, but anyway, guys, INO, I don't know. I'm watching it. I'm watching it. I mean, I'm wanting to get in on it, guys, but I just don't know. I just don't know. Anyway, here's the thing, guys. I'm probably going to just leave off here, but we can say I'm ending the day down $50 today after fees and commissions, and hopefully you guys did a lot better than me. I feel like my trading has just been, you know, it just continues to be a little sloppy because I'm lacking the confidence, and I'm just trying to get myself back to the place that I should be. Hopefully that will happen here in the weeks to come. And I am hopeful for it. I really am. I'm very hopeful for it. I don't think, we're going to be blowing our account here, anything to that degree. Worst case scenarios, I always tell you guys, is if I end up dipping into my cushion a little too much, then I may just take a break from trading altogether. But that's nothing that I can't foresee that happening anytime soon, but who knows, right? But nonetheless, I'm going to come back here on Monday, and hopefully all my regulars will be in the live stream. I definitely look forward to seeing you guys, and I hope you do have a good weekend. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and consider joining us in the live stream. We stream live right here on the channel, Monday through Friday, beginning roughly around 9 a.m. Have a great weekend, guys. Take care.